Hello, my name is Hannah Carlton, and I will be giving a speech today on animal rights. The title of my speech will be, Are We Giving Fido and Felix a Fighting Chance? So, my moral position on this issue is I love animals. I work in a veterinary office. I've always loved animals all my life, and I treat them with as much as respect as I would a human. I do consider myself an animal advocate, and we'll get to what that means later on in the video. But what I want to talk to you about today is what animal rights are and what my position on it is, and hopefully you can form your own opinion about it. Many cases of animal cruelty happen today, whether we know that or not. We see them in our own county. You can see them on TV. You'll see them on Animal Planet, things like that. Some cases are very severe. Others are not as severe. But either way, they still are acts against animals in either abuse or neglection, simply that. Examples of animal cruelty would be puppy mills. You would see hoarding situations, stuff like that. There are different laws in different counties and different states, and we'll touch on those issues later on in the video. From the book The Right Thing to Do, Rachel's discusses an argument about animals being equal to humans. This really spoke to me because, as you are quite aware by now, I am an animal advocate, and I do believe that animals should be treated as well as humans are. He states that different parties deserve different rights, whether they have the right to vote or if they can talk or write or even speak to vote. They still have rights, just as in his comparison was women being able to get an abortion and that being a right to them, even though a man is not given the same right because, well, men can't have abortions. So he believes that the same should be applied to animals, and I agree with him. There was a case back in 2012. The woman's name was Dinah Bell. She had a dog breeding facility. It was almost like a kennel. And witnesses claimed that they had seen dogs being drowned in pools. They were found dead and other things like that. Investigators went out to her place and found 10 small dogs wrapped in plastic bags, and they were placed in the freezer. These dogs appeared to be wet when they were frozen, so it led to them to believe that she was drowning her dogs in a pool. So what she did was she was either given the opportunity to not be prosecuted and post for bail at $50,000 and still have contact with animals, or she would post for bail and have $20,000 to pay and not have any contact with animals. So she chose the $50,000 route. Many people are confused about what goes into the food industry, and you hear stories about neglection there. I've seen that in my own veterinary practice myself. There was a woman that came in, and she had a chicken that was from Case Farms, and this chicken, after looking at x-rays, it couldn't walk. It was lame, basically. And we took x-rays on the chicken and found that the chicken indeed had no ligaments or anything like that would prevent them from rubbing bone on bone. So that was kind of a neglection with growth and drugs and stuff. But there was an article written by Wanda Patchy, and she has a little blog, and she talked about the food industry not being so abusive to the animals that they do have. In that topic, she talked about the FDA running the health standards and proving that, yes, they do test our food and make sure that it is healthy and these animals aren't being abused. In religious points on animal rights, the Zulu tradition of killing the bulls has been one that's been kind of looked at recently and studied due to its graphic detail and sacrifice of bulls. This has been kind of an on and off again subject just because it deals with religion. An animal advocate is someone who advocates for the right and well-being of animals. Animals can't talk, so therefore nobody really knows what it's like to be abused and treated like some people treat their animals today. Many animal advocates can be found in organizations like the ASPCA or PTA, and they can be found in humane societies or even veterinary offices. Most of these cases of animal cruelty start out with an eyewitness complaint. It would be like a citizen, a neighbor, anything like that. That would be spotting abuse, and they report to an animal control department of the public safety. The next step would be for the investigators through the animal control department to go out and evaluate the situation. They would start by gathering evidence and probably even more eyewitnesses. In some cases, animals might be evacuated depending on their medical condition at the time of the investigation and brought to a veterinary hospital and some rescue areas where they can be rehabilitated. After a warrant's released, a court order will be summoned for the individual that is guilty of the crime, and then it's either placed in civil court or federal court, depending on the judge. Once again, TV has helped spread the cause for animal cruelty. ASPCA has been one that you've seen a lot on Animal Planet, especially, where they go in and they have the police officers and you see what it's like for these different situations. ASPCA has an organization and a website to where if you are curious about wanting to become an advocate or wanting to hopefully pursue animal rights and look into that, you can certainly go on their website. It would be aspca.org. The animal rights across the country, they depend on the state, and in North Carolina, it actually depends on the county. So the counties kind of make the jurisdiction as to what they will consider cruelty and what they don't. Thank you for watching my video. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me, and thank you for your time.